Good morning, students.
Good morning, ma'am.
Okay. So in our last class, we were discussing about Ampere circuital law and one of its application, that is magnetic field due to the infinite long straight current carrying conductor. So today we can discuss another application of this Ampere circuital law. So before that, once again, we can recall the Ampere circuital law. Okay. So Aditya, can you state Ampere circuital law?
Yes, ma'am. It states that the magnetic field enclosed by a closed path or circuit is equal to mu zero times the current enclosed.
Yes, the magnetic field, the line integral of the magnetic field over any closed surface is equal to mu zero times the current enclosed by the surface. Okay, then Vidur, what is the mathematical representation of Ampere circuital law?
Integral BC, closed integral BC, B into DL is equal to mu 0.
B dot dl is equal to mu zero I. What is mu zero? Can you differentiate each term in that equation?
Mu 0 is permeability of free space.
Okay,
I is the current.
yes,
B is the magnetic field.
B is the magnetic field. And what about dl?
DL is a small length.
The length of the small segment. Okay, all right. And then we were discussing about the magnetic field due to an infinite long straight current carrying conductor. So today we are going to discuss another application of this Ampere circuital law, that is magnetic field due to long solenoid. So before entering into the derivation, we can discuss what do you mean by solenoid. Naurin, what do you mean by solenoid?
Solenoid is a device which is formed when copper wire is wound tightly in the form of a cylinder.
Yes, very good. So solenoid is an insulated copper wire that is wound tightly in the form of a cylinder. So let us see what about the magnetic field that is due to this long solenoid. So a solenoid is a device which is formed when an insulated copper wire is wound tightly in the form of cylinder. So now we can check the magnetic field produced by the solenoid. Magnetic field due to long solenoid. So in order to derive the expression for magnetic field due to long solenoid, consider a long solenoid or consider a solenoid of length L. Consider a solenoid of length L. Consider a solenoid of length L. Let I be the current flowing through this solenoid. Let I be the current flowing through this solenoid. So here we are consider a solenoid with a length L and I be the current that flows through this solenoid. So in our last class, we already said that the magnetic field, whenever the current passing through the solenoid is behaves like a magnet or it produces a magnetic field. And the magnetic field produced by the solenoid is exactly similar to that of a bar magnet. That is, in the case of a bar magnet, we know that it possesses two poles. One is north pole and other is the south pole. And the magnetic field produced by the bar magnet is just like this. Inside the bar magnet, it is pointing from south to north, and outside the magnet, it is pointing from north to south. So this is the magnetic field produced by the bar magnet. So the magnetic field produced by the solenoid is exactly similar to that of a bar magnet. So here, depending upon the direction of the current that is flowing through this solenoid, we can identify the polarity possessed by the solenoid. And here in this end, the current is flowing in a clockwise direction. So what about the polarity of this side of the solenoid? Here the current flowing in a clockwise direction. So what about the polarity of this side of solenoid? Is it north pole or south pole?
South Pole.
Yes, it is south pole. Since the current flowing in a clockwise direction, this end of the solenoid behaves like a south pole. Then what about the other end? If it is south pole, what about the other end of the solenoid?
North Pole.
It should be north pole. So here in this end, the current is entering in a clockwise direction. So we can take this end of the solenoid as of south polarity. If it is south polarity, then the opposite end must be in north. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now we want to calculate the magnetic field produced by this solenoid. So here we are stating the polarity possessed by the solenoid. Since the current flowing in clockwise direction, one end of the solenoid behaves like south and the other end behaves like the north pole of the solenoid. Okay. Now what about the direction of the magnetic field inside the solenoid? What about the direction of magnetic field inside the solenoid?
South to north.
Yes, very good. Here the direction of the magnetic field is pointing south to north. Because the magnetic field produced by the solenoid is exactly similar to that of the magnetic field produced by a bar magnet. So here, this is the south pole of the solenoid and this is the north pole of the solenoid. So we can say the magnetic field is directed from south to north inside the solenoid. So here we find the direction of the magnetic field. Now we want to calculate the value of the magnetic field produced by this long solenoid. And how we can calculate or find out the value of the magnetic field? Which theorem we are used to apply here? Here we find the direction of the magnetic field and it is pointing from south to north inside the solenoid. What about the value? How we can calculate? By using which theorem we can calculate the magnetic field produced by the solenoid? Magnetic field due to long solenoid is the application of what theorem?
Ampere's law. Ampere's law.
Ampere circuital theorem. So here we find out the direction of the magnetic field. Now we can calculate the magnetic field by applying the Ampere circuital theorem. Okay. And for applying the Ampere circuital theorem, one condition is needed. What's that? In order to apply the Ampere circuital, yes, we need a closed surface or a closed loop. A closed loop or a closed surface is needed. Then only we can apply the Ampere circuital theorem here. Okay. So here we find the direction of the magnetic field. Now we want to calculate the value of the magnetic field by applying the Ampere circuital theorem. In order to apply, so here we can calculate the value of magnetic field by using Ampere circuital theorem. Is it over?
Ma'am,
Yes.
can you say again, ma'am, to calculate the magnetic field?
Here we want to calculate the magnetic field. Here we want to calculate the magnetic field. Here we want to calculate the magnetic field produced by this long solenoid. Here we want to calculate the magnetic field produced by the long solenoid. With the help of Ampere circuital theorem. Here we want to calculate the magnetic field produced by long solenoid by applying Ampere circuital theorem or Ampere circuital law. For that, we need a ambient loop or closed surface. So just like that of Gaussian surface, here we use a term ambient loop. In order to apply the Ampere circuital law, we need a closed loop or a closed surface that we call it as ambient loop. For that, we need a ambient loop. For that, we need a ambient loop. And here we take the ambient loop. And here we take the ambient loop. Here we take an ambient loop in the form of a square. In the form of a square with the sides A, B, C, D. Here we consider an ambient loop in the form of a square with the sides A, B, C, D. So here we are going to calculate the magnetic field produced by this long solenoid by applying the Ampere circuital law. In order to apply this Ampere circuital law, we need an ambient loop, that is a closed surface. And here we consider a square ABCD as our ambient loop. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now we apply this Ampere circuital law. Now we apply the Ampere circuital law to this ambient loop ABCD. Now we apply the ambient circuital law, Ampere's circuital law. Now we apply this Ampere's circuital law to this ambient loop ABCD. Now we apply the Ampere's circuital law to this ambient loop ABCD. According to Ampere's circuital law, we have, according to Ampere's circuital law, we have, could anyone state once again the mathematical representation of Ampere's circuital law? According to Ampere's circuital law, we have
Closed surface integral of B dot dl
hmm,
is equal to mu 0
yes, very good. So according to Ampere's circuital law, we have closed integral over B dot dl is equal to mu 0 I. But here we have 4 sides are there for the square. So we must apply the Ampere's circuital law to all these 4 sides. So the equation become closed integral over, first we are apply this Ampere's circuital law to this side AB. Closed integral over A to B, B dot dl plus, what about the next side? Closed integral over B to C, B dot dl plus, what about the next side? Here we have 4 sides are there for this ambient loop. So we need to apply the Ampere circuital law equally to all these 4 sides. So the first one is closed integral over A to B, B dot dl plus closed integral over B to C, B dot dl plus. What about the next side? Closed integral over
C to D.
C to D, B dot dl plus one more side is there. Closed integral over
D to A.
D to A, B dot dl. Very good. That is equal to mu 0 I. So in order to calculate the magnetic field produced by a long solenoid, here we are applying the Ampere circuital law. So to apply this Ampere circuital law, here we consider an Amperian loop in the form of a square, that is ABCD. Then by Ampere circuital law, we have closed integral over B dot dl is equal to mu 0 I. But here we have 4 sides are there for the square. So we are applying the Ampere circuital law to all these 4 sides. That is closed integral over A dot B, B dot dl plus closed integral over B to C, B dot dl plus closed integral over C to D, B dot dl plus closed integral over D to A, B dot dl is equal to mu 0 I. Okay, is it clear? Or we can write closed integral over A to B. What is B dot dl? B dot dl, it is a dot product.
B dl cos theta.
Very good, B dl cos theta. So integral A to B, B dl cos theta plus closed integral over B to C, B dl cos theta plus closed integral over C to D, B dl cos theta plus closed integral over D to A, B dl cos theta is equal to mu 0 I. So here we know that B is the magnetic field and dl is the length of the small segment. And what about theta? What is theta?
Ma'am,
Yes.
for C to D and D to A, y is simple integral.
Okay, okay. Closed integral. Closed integral. Actually, here we don't need to consider this closed integral. Okay, no problem. Integral A to B, closed integral over A to B, B dl cos theta plus closed integral over B to C, B dl cos theta plus closed integral over C to D, B dl cos theta plus closed integral over D to A, B dl cos theta. And what is theta represent here? Theta. Theta is the angle between, what are the parameters? Here B is the magnetic field, dl is the length of the small line segment, and theta is the angle between the magnetic field and that of the line segment or the length of the solenoid. So here we want to check the value of theta for all these sides AB, BC, CD and that of the DA. So from this figure, it is clear that the side or the length AB and that of the direction of the magnetic field are along the same direction. Here we know that the direction of the magnetic field is pointing from south to north and the direction of the ABs are also along the same direction. So what about the angle between them, the magnetic field and that of the line segment?
0.
0. Okay, good. Similarly, what about the case of the angle between the line segment BC and that of the magnetic field?
90.
It is 90 degree. Okay. What about the case of the angle between CD and that of the magnetic field? They are again along the same direction. The direction of both are same. Again 0. What about the angle between the part or the side DA and that of the magnetic field?
90 degrees.
Is again 90 degree. So we can substitute the values of all these theta in our equation. So it becomes closed integral over A to B, BDL. What is the angle between AB, the length AB and that of the magnetic field? Cos 0 plus closed integral over B to C, BDL. Here this part B to C. Here the angle is 90 degree. So BDL cos 90 plus closed integral over C to D BDL, again that angle is 0, plus closed integral over D to A BDL, again it is 90. BDL cos 90 is equal to mu 0 I. So in this step, we are just to substitute the values of angle. Closed integral over A dot A to B BDL cos 0 plus closed integral over B to C BDL cos 90 plus closed integral over C to D BDL cos 0 plus closed integral over D to A BDL cos 90 equal to mu 0 I. Is it clear? Clear or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What about the value of cos 0? What is cos 0?
1.
Yes, cos 0 is equal to 1. What about cos 90? What's the value of cos 90?
0.
Cos 90 is equal to 0. Again, here we have cos 0 that is equal to 1. Here cos 90 that is equal to 0. So from this, it is clear that the two terms are cancelled. What are the two terms cancelled from this equation?
Integral B to C and integral D to
BDL cos 90 and one more term.
integral D to A
Oh,
BDL cos.
yes. So here we know that the second and fourth term, it is cos 90. Cos 90 is 0. So that entire term will be cancelled. So from this equation, closed integral over B to C BDL cos 90 is equal to 0. Similarly, closed integral over D to A BDL cos 90 is equal to 0. So what is left? What is left? Closed integral over A to B BDL plus closed integral over one more term is left. What's that? C to D. Yes. BDL. Here we are replacing this dot because BDL cos 0 is 1. So BDL plus closed integral over C to D BDL is equal to mu 0 I. So here the magnetic field produced by the long solenoid is only due to the presence of these two sides, side AB and that of the side CD. Again, what about the position of CD? Is it is inside the solenoid or outside the solenoid? Here the side CD. Is it is inside the solenoid or outside the solenoid? Here we are considering outside. Very good. So here we are consider an ambient loop ABCD. So when we are observing the figure, it is clear that the side CD is outside the solenoid. So the magnetic field produced by the side CD becomes 0. Okay, the magnet, since it is outside the solenoid, the magnetic field B at CD is 0. So here we get closed integral over A to B BDL plus closed integral over C to D BDL is equal to mu 0 I. But here the side CD is outside the solenoid. So the value of magnetic field B is equal to 0 there. Hence, the side CD outside the solenoid, the magnetic field B is equal to 0. So what is left? Only one term is left here. What is that?
Integral A to B.
Yes. So here the magnetic field due to the solenoid is only due to the presence of one side, integral A to B BDL. Integral A to B BDL is equal to mu 0 I. Integral A to B B dl is equal to mu 0 I. All the other sides, the magnetic field becomes 0. So the magnetic field produced by the long solenoid is only due to the presence of closed integral over A to B, B dl is equal to mu 0 I. Okay. And here we consider the solenoid with n number of turns. Here this expression is represents the magnetic field produced by a solenoid due to one number of turn. Okay, it is only due to the one number of turn is present in the solenoid. Here we consider a solenoid with n number of turns. So the equation becomes closed integral over A to B BDL is equal to. Here we consider the solenoid with the n number of turns. So the equation become closed integral A to B BDL is equal to n into mu 0 I.
Ma'am,
Yes,
that means we have to multiply the number of turns.
yes. Depending upon the number of turns, we need to multiply it here. So in the initial equation here, we have closed integral over A to B BDL is equal to mu 0 I. So this equation is represent the solenoid with only one number of turns. But here in this figure, it's clear that we consider the solenoid with the n number of turns. Okay, so the equation become closed integral over A to B BDL is equal to n into mu 0 I. Is it clear? Okay.
Yes.
So now we want to calculate the magnetic field. So take it outside. So it becomes B is equal to closed integral over dl is equal to n into mu 0 I. Here we want to calculate the magnetic field B. So take it outside. So it becomes B is equal to closed integral over dl is equal to n into mu 0 I. Clear? Okay. Then what about the integral of derivative of a function? Here integral of derivative of length. Unmute and say
Length.
length itself. So this equation becomes B into L is equal to n mu 0 I. Here the integral of derivative of a function is that function itself. This integration and derivation is cancelled. So it becomes BL is equal to n into mu 0 I. BL is equal to n into mu 0 I. Where B is the magnetic field, L is the length of the solenoid, and n is the number of turns. Mu 0 is the permeability of the free space, and I is the current that flowing through this solenoid. Clear? Okay. And here we want to calculate the magnetic field B. B is equal to, rearrange the equation and find an equation for magnetic field. B is equal to yes, what's the equation for magnetic field? Vidur, can you form an equation for magnetic field B?
N mu 0 I by L.
N mu 0 I divided by N mu 0 I divided by
L.
L. Okay, so here the magnetic field B is equal to N mu 0 I divided by L. Again, here this number of turns per unit length is represented by another term, small letter n. Here this number of turns per unit length is represented by another term, small n. We can call it as number density like that. Okay. So the n by L in this equation represents small n, that is the number density. Here we know that B is equal to n mu 0 I divided by L. And this n by L represents small n, or we can call it as number density, or the number of turns itself, number density. It is the number of turns present in a solenoid per unit length. Number of turns present in a solenoid per unit length. N by L is equal to small letter n. Is it clear? So what about our equation become? B is equal to, here n by L represents small letter n. So we can write B is equal to mu 0 Ni. Mu 0 Ni. The number of turns per unit length n by L is taken as small letter n. Number density small letter n. Then B is equal to mu 0 Ni. This is the equation for magnetic field produced due to a long solenoid. Magnetic field produced due to a long solenoid. And here we know that B is the magnetic field. And mu 0 is the permeability. Permeability of the free space. And I is the current. And what is N represents? Small letter n. It is number of turns per unit length. The small letter n represents number of turns per unit length. So this is the equation for magnetic field produced by the long solenoid. Is it clear? So students, can you guess what are the factors that is affecting the magnetic field? From this equation, can you make a guess? What are the factors that depends upon the magnetic field? Here mu 0, permeability is a constant. Yes, current. The current flowing through a conductor. So here from this equation, we can find the factors that affect on the magnetic field. One is current. Current I. Okay. Current I depends on magnetic field, because here the current directly proportional to magnetic field. So we can say that whenever the current increases, what happens to the strength of the magnetic field? Is it increase or decrease?
Increases.
It increases. And one more factor is there. What is that? Small letter n. That is number of turns present in the solenoid. So if the number of turns present in the solenoid per unit length increases, what happens to the magnetic field?
Increases.
Magnetic field is also increases. So one more point you can add here. That is the factors affecting, or the factors depends on the magnetic field. The magnitude of the magnetic field depends on following factors. The first one, number of loop per turns, or you can write number of turns per unit length. Number of turns per unit length. The factors depends on magnetic field. One is number of turns per unit length. That is represented by small letter n. Number of turns. S.
Here, what is actually L in the last equation?
L is the length of the solenoid.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So number of turns per unit length. And the second factor, amount of current, the current that flowing through the solenoid, that is I. Not only solenoid, if we are consider any conductor, these factors are the same. Number of turns per unit length of that conductor, the amount of current I that flows through that conductor. And the last one, it is a material inside the cylinder. That is, in the case of a solenoid, sometimes we place a soft iron core. In the case of solenoid, sometimes we place a soft iron core. Soft iron core. In order to increase the strength of the magnetic field. So material that kept inside the cylinder. Here we know that the solenoid is in a cylindrical shape. So if we place a soft iron core inside this solenoid, you can increase the strength of the magnetic field. We know that this is our solenoid, and if we kept a soft iron core inside the length of the solenoid, thereby you can increase the strength of the magnetic field. Is it clear? So, three factors affecting the magnitude of the magnetic field. One is number of turns per unit length. The second one, amount of current that flowing through this solenoid. And the third one is soft iron core, or the material that we kept inside the conductor. If it is a soft iron core, it increases the strength of the magnetic field produced by the solenoid. So these are the factors affecting the magnitude of magnetic field. All the factors are directly proportional to magnetic field. So if we are increasing the number of turns, the magnetic field produced by the solenoid or the conductor increases. If we increase the amount of current or strength of the current, then the strength of the magnetic field produced by the current conductor or the solenoid increases. Similarly, if we are kept a soft iron core, any other kind of material like that, the strength of the magnetic field is automatically increases. Is it clear? Okay.
Yes.
So that's all about the application of Ampere circuital law, that is the magnetic field produced due to a solenoid. I hope it is clear to you. Okay. All of you, please switch on your video. So now we have one more application, that is the magnetic field due to toroid. So I think we have one more period today. We can discuss it during that time. Okay. So let me take you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Have a nice day.